attention most of the time. It's better to miss you, better to miss you, better to miss you still than never to have had you, never to have held you, never to have kissed your lips. Have you seen those eyes? They hypnotize. Have you seen that hair? Oh, beyond compare. Have you seen those lips? They must be kissed. Oh, the way she moves. Oh, she really grooves. Yeah, she's really something. Boy, she's got my heart and body jumping. She drives me wild. That honey child. Look at what she's
Hello,
got.
America, and thank
That
you for
girl
joining
red
us
eyes.
for Golden Age Radio, presented by Improv Boston. You may notice that you are not currently located at Improv Boston. Well, as a matter of fact, neither are we. Improv Boston, like almost all theaters and arts organizations, is currently shuttered for live in person performances. To make sure that Improv Boston can continue to serve our community after the current chaos is over, please consider donating to Improv Boston, a 501c3 nonprofit with over 35 years of mission driven work. Go to improvboston.com/donate to learn more or to donate. You can do so now. We won't know. But if you do, that'd be great. improvboston.com/donate. What you are about to see and hear is Golden Age Radio, a show that transports you, the audience, into the smoke-filled WGAR recording studios of 1947. In it, the best actors of the day will put on a pair of radio plays over the next hour or so. Everything you're about to hear this entire hour is improvised, from the dialogue to the sound effects to the commercials. To inspire us, I would like you all to gather around your Marconi brand Twitch chat window and give us a few suggestions. please provide us with two things. The first is a product you couldn't possibly live without in the 1940s, like cummerbunds or cigarette cases. And the second is a noun that sounds funny when you say it, like geranium or tincture. Again, a product you couldn't live without and a noun you like to say. Please do so now, and we'll do our best to use them throughout the show. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy Golden Age Radio.
And then I said, I'll just drink the diesel fuel.
Next time, find a better speakeasy.
Well, if it doesn't hurt you too much, just drink it.
That's what I'm drinking now.
Prevents engine knock.
He's found a taste for it. He's found a taste for it.
This is just straight gin.
Yes, me too. I'm on the straight gin train.
I hear that's good for your digestion.
Yeah,
Cleans
it
you right
solves a lot of health problems, I've heard.
I decided to add some vegetables to my diet by switching from gin to vodka.
Oh.
You know,
So
I
if you notice a healthy glow.
I do.
The Irish glow up.
Yes.
Julie, you were saying?
Oh, yes. I recently heard if after you take your shot of vodka, you smell a lemon, or not a lemon, an onion, it improves the flavor.
Really?
It's another
I just
vegetable.
smell onions after everything.
Well, actually, speaking of amazing flavors, we have quite the combination of shows this evening. Mr. Laidlaw upstairs asked for these two in particular. We're going to start with The Adventures of the Daring, and then we're going to close out with Lady Victory. Unfortunately, Chef Stewart's Communist Kitchen has been canceled for obvious reasons.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stuart.
Sorry, Stuart.
Well, just have to enjoy that borscht next week.
Oh, Mr. Matt Laidlaw. I love him. Can we give him a fruit basket? I feel like we haven't given him a fruit basket in a month.
Yeah, we'll send one upstairs. I'll put a collection together, but we're gonna have to save that for after the show. I'm getting the red light from Mr. L, so I'm gonna count us in, and here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Greetings, America. The time is 7:10 p.m. Eastern, and you are listening to WGAR Golden Age Radio. Tonight, we bring you a pair of stories meant to inspire and amaze. First up, we invite you to come with us to the far future to join the Mason family as they travel the galaxy in The Adventures of the Daring. And second, we're going to return to Tower City to watch that city's bravest superhero, Lady Victory, engage in feats of strength and poise. The Adventures of the Daring is brought to you this hour by a sponsor we are very proud to have, MacGruber brand gin. Do you like to drink but get very, very drunk instead of just very drunk? Try MacGruber's gin, a gin that skips the pretense. MacGruber's gin. It's jet fuel for your brain and your heart. The Adventures of the Daring boasts some of the finest voice talent in all of these United States. Your narrator is Stuart Licht. Ben Scaria plays Max Mason. Whitney Hawkins plays Mindy Mason. Marissa Farmer plays Roxy Mason. Joe Safarovich plays Rocky Mason. And Julie Snyder plays Daisy, the intelligent computer. Now, for those brave and smart enough to use their Adventures of the Daring decoder rings, you already know the name of the nebula that the Daring is going to fly through today. But for those of you that don't, well, we're about to tell you. The Adventures of the Daring is going to take us all the way to the Hullabaloo Nebula. Sit back, relax, and enjoy The Adventures of the Daring in the Hullabaloo Nebula.
Earth, the 19th century. a vast alabaster wasteland called Alaska. They called it Seward's Folly and said it would never be good for anything. But as a home for walruses and penguins and other Arctic life. But America proved them all wrong. That wasteland was under the surface, teeming with the black gold riches that would make 20th century America a power to be reckoned with. And starting in the 21st century and onwards, would make America a power in the stars, where now, in the vast, inky blackness of space, the Mason family penetrates the farthest reaches of the galaxy in their mighty ship, the Daring, where these brave adventurers find that space, too, is full of vast, inexhaustible resources to exploit for the greater good of America. On the adventures of the Daring, we see the Mason family gathered on the bridge of the Daring, viewing a strange, new, glowing mass that had appeared on the ship's monitor.
Max, I've never seen a mass glow like this before.
It's very bright. Daisy, is there any way to dim the mass? I'm sorry, Daisy,
Sorry,
you're not coming through.
I have her on the mute setting.
I can dim the lights for you and put on better music so that you can see the mass better.
This is why I had you on the mute setting.
No, please dim the lights. I'm really having a tough time.
Absolutely. Dimming the lights, putting on some music.
Oh.
I've put on your slow mix.
I needed this, Daisy.
Would you like an electro-stimulated massage on your shoulders while you view the mass in the screen?
Not right now, Daisy. Perhaps you could just run a spectrometer on it and tell us what the mass is made of. The mass of the mass, if you will.
Max Mason, mighty father of the mighty Mason clan, was a scientist and adventurer who this week had indulged perhaps excessively in space gin. Not like MacGruber's, where it's hard to overindulge. His wife Mindy, used to his occasional overindulgence, wanted to let him learn his lesson, but the always sympathetic Daisy, the ship's artificial intelligence, never missed an opportunity to coddle and pet her favorite, Max.
Ma, Pa, I feel like this is the closest we've gotten to something like a Christmas tree in quite some time. I don't want to see it dimmed. I want to celebrate it.
Roxy Mason, the family's teenage daughter, was always on the lookout for things of beauty and special occasions to celebrate in the vast, inky blackness of space.
All right, Roxy, why don't you and your mother take a pod and go explore the nebula? The two of you need to spend some quality time together. We'll stay on the ship, just us boys. Isn't that right, Rocky?
That's right, Dad. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
I'll also stay on the ship. This nebula is very safe based on my scans.
Yay!
You say so, Daisy.
Rocky Mason, the family's teenage son, was always looking to spend time with his father and maybe even someday impress him.
Daisy, where do nebulas come from?
Nebulas come from space. They are formed by multiple elements of matter when they are crashed together intimately and they explode. Once they explode, they spread out and form a pattern. This nebula right here is not indicating any sort of pattern or structure, but I assure you, it's completely safe for Mrs. Mason to go in.
Dad, I learned that nebulas come from space.
That's right, son. That's right.
All right. Well, everyone's learning, so I guess it's time for me and Roxy to do the same. Let's go down to the launching pad, shall we?
They did. They did go down to the launching pad, past the ship's automated disc jockey, who spun what modern day Earthlings would call platters of recorded music for the delight and education of the Mason family.
More of your father's kazoo music.
Isn't it swell?
Past Space Main Street, where the various alien haberdashers, shoe salesmen, and general stores congregated to give the ship a little bit more of a hometown atmosphere.
I got heels for sale. Heels, size pi and size pi times 3.
Ship
I got
news,
glove.
fresh news. Fresh news. Who wants a paper?
8 pairs of gloves. 8 pairs of gloves for your forearms.
You want popcorn? Buy some corn kernels and cook it yourself.
And finally, past the beloved ethnic neighborhood, Little Venus, where Venusians had settled on the ship and were always happy to offer some of their unique Venusian cuisine, rugs, and assorted bric-a-brac.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Vorbax. That skeetlebot sounds delicious.
It'll bop a do.
And so, eating/inhaling their treat from Venus, Mindy and Roxy boarded the shuttle and set off for the purportedly safe nebula. But on the bridge, a disturbing fact had come to light about the properties of the nebula.
It's antimatter? Whoa, that's like the opposite of matter, Dad.
Oh, did you say antimatter? Daisy. Antimatter is one of the most unstable forces in the entire universe. And you just sent my wife and my daughter down to explore it. Are you sure? Are you sure this is safe?
I feel strongly that it is very safe for your wife, but perhaps we should call back your daughter, Captain.
Just then, from the nebula, a asteroid penetrated the depths of the nebula and was instantaneously vaporized. Although space was, of course, a vacuum and unable to propagate a sound, it was as though for the Mason family, or the part of the Mason family up on the bridge, a deafening explosion could be heard. The flash, the vibration was almost palpable on the psychological level, if not the actual physical plane.
Oh!
Oh dear, that was shocking and unexpected. I had no idea that would happen.
Daisy, scan for the pod, please.
Scanning. The pod is still there. It's making its way to the center of the nebula. Captain, perhaps we should now invite a protocol in which your wife doesn't return. I'm happy to present you with some options that I've already come up with. There are 14,000 scenarios in which we do not need your wife.
Wait a second. Daisy, do you not like Mom?
There we go.
I am incapable of feeling. However, if I were capable of feeling, and I were a human, and lucky enough to be close to Mr. Mason, I would hate your mother.
Having qualified her position, Daisy took to the screen and showed the family the course that the shuttle was taking. Fortunately, Mindy and Roxy were using their exceptional piloting skills to evade and dodge every bit of antimatter within the nebula, able to penetrate to the heart of the nebula, where, strangely, there was an unperturbed orb of positive matter, normal, regular, everyday matter, in the heart of this cosmic maelstrom of unbelievable proportions. And it was on this orb that Mindy and Roxy found safe harbor, if only for a moment.
Yeehaw! Now this is science.
On some piloting skills from you, Ma.
You sure did. I'm so proud of you for what you did back there.
Twirly, twirly.
Whew. Do you feel that rush? That's knowledge.
As
like
the
learning.
as the Mason women granted themselves the momentary indulgence of masculine style self-congratulation, they saw on the surface of the orb a strange alien figure, dressed in what appeared to be a series of musical instruments, as though it were the alien equivalent of a earthly one-man band.
Now, who is this strange fellow?
Should we introduce ourselves?
You can introduce yourself. I'm going to pull out my favorite laser gun.
Okay. Hi, I'm Roxy.
Do. Sorry, I normally just perform as communication, if you don't mind.
Confused sounds.
Can I ask how you got through my anti-gravity, antimatter, anti-people, anti-alien nebula to my orb?
Oh, was it supposed to be adversarial?
Yeah,
I thought it was just an obstacle course.
Anti, against, away people. I like my solitary orb for my one alien band that no one hears but me.
Oh, I see. You're what we call on Earth a geek. I'll put my gun away.
Yes, the alien was akin to an earthly geek. Having set up a situation where it made a huge amount of noise and clamor to both attract and repel attention. It could only relate to people by loudly broadcasting its passion, yet declaring that all others were unworthy and could not possibly be expected to understand the genius of its performance. Stung by the realization that Mindy and Roxy had its number, the alien tried to recover its composure and regain control of the situation.
Well, now that you're here, I suppose you could join in the performance if you have any noise-making, hullabaloo-y instrumentational tools.
Mom, this is so awkward.
Yes, this person is very strange, but in the name of science, I think we can join in for some silliness.
And join in they did. They took up the strange alien instruments, which, propagated through the antimatter collisions, were able to manifest themselves as psychological sound waves within the minds of Rocky, Max, and by extension Daisy on the bridge, where we find them understanding for the first time that Mindy and Roxy had found some intelligent life at the center of the nebula they were now referring to as the Hullabaloo Nebula.
Huh.
Huh. I think mom and sister's sister found intelligent life.
I feel the same way. Daisy, could you confirm our suspicion, please?
Captain, I can confirm. It appears that there is one life form in the center of the nebula. Based on the radio waves, they are communicating with your wife and daughter on some level.
Are they male form?
I can only assume that your wife is sexually attracted to the male form.
She is, of course, but only to certain fine specimens such as myself.
Yes, Captain. As we all know, anyone would be sexually attracted to you.
I feel uncomfortable.
Rocky, it's okay. Look, sometimes you form attachments, and sometimes those attachments are with people, or with a creature, or with an AI that you designed and built yourself,
Or with a laser gun.
or with a laser gun. But with any of those relationships, son, you need to have boundaries. Or else, well, like a laser gun, people get hurt.
like if you break the boundary, sometimes the gun will go off and it might hurt someone that you care about.
That's absolutely right. Now, you can fantasize about shooting that gun all you want,
Oh.
but you know in your heart that you can never, ever fire that gun.
But what if someone else has a gun that you really want to shoot? How do you deal with that? Like you get really jealous that they have a really cool gun that you want to fire.
You really, really just have to keep on your own gun. If you start getting hung up on other people's guns, why, that's a path that only leads to destruction.
But it's okay to fantasize about it, right?
It's okay to fantasize about anything, son. Anything at all.
Daisy's positronic tubes hummed and glowed as she assimilated this strange new idea of boundaries.
Captain, the new protocol that you are enacting with your son seems to go against the protocol that you have enacted with me. My priority is to you, then secondarily the ship, then tertiarily your children, then fourth to make new strokes for the United States, and 57th down the list is to protect your wife.
Yes, but she's still on the list, is she not? And
Yes,
is your
Captain.
prime objective not to take care of everything on the list? Is not my bobble-headed collection of the monkeys just as important?
It was indeed 45th on the list.
Everything I have in my life, whether it's a relationship or a possession, means something to me, including you, Daisy. And as much as I sometimes am tempted to let you be the, well, I don't know, mother to my children and wife to me and run the ship and take care of every whim and desire and make sure that we're all safe and taken care of, well,
And as Max continued on
Also,
what he
yes,
might hypothetically want
hot dinners all
someday,
the time and
should Mindy
me
be
watch
lost
what I
in the
wanna
vast,
watch.
inky
Don't make fun of my
vastness of
kazoo.
space,
I could polish
The-
your kazoos.
the alien and Mindy and Roxy came to a realization about how the alien might want to spend the rest of its life more productively than it had in the past.
Well, that was one heck of a jam session.
Yes, in some ways, we made more of a hullabaloo when I wasn't alone. Wait a minute. You're thinking what I'm thinking, right, Earth alien?
Possibly.
You're gonna take me with you. I'm gonna join the ship.
Oh. We're already fairly full. You see, I have a son and husband and a robot that hates me. So,
And as Mindy let loose with her space smoke grenade and fled back with her daughter to the safety of the shuttle, the alien realized, although it could not join the Masons, They had taught it an important lesson, that to connect with its audience, it would have to let down its guard and become vulnerable. So as the shuttle took off, Mindy and Roxy saw that the antimatter was coalescing into an orb of its own that launched itself into the nearest black hole and disappeared, leaving the way clear for them to return to the Daring, where, on the bridge, the family considered the lessons they'd learned during their harrowing visit to the Hullabaloo Nebula.
Why, he sounds like a truly interesting fellow that you ran into.
Oh, he was. And I learned that Roxy and I are great pilots and also excellent jam musicians.
Hmm.
We should start a band. We call it Rush of Knowledge.
Yeah.
I love that, Roxy.
And we can name our first album after the task I'm doing right now, moving all these giant picture frames around. We can call it Moving Picture Frames.
And Rocky, what did you learn today about fantasy?
Oh, it's okay as long as you don't act on it.
That's absolutely right. And
That must be
Daisy,
what Daisy's doing.
what did you learn about boundaries?
I've learned that although I have a list that's listed in order of priority, the 57th individual on the list is as important as the bobbleheads that are in the 40s, as well as the children, the prime directive, and the husband. And therefore, the boundaries that I do not exhibit with you should be equally attended to with your wife. So therefore, Mrs. Mason, may I offer you to dim the lights, play some music, and give you a sensual electric massage?
Oh, Daisy, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Bust out some more gin.
And as the Mason family, at least the adult members of it, enjoyed their delicious MacGruber's gin, the gin that had survived centuries of human progress, we leave them to their next adventure, penetrating the farthest boundaries of space. Tune in next week when we'll hear Roxy say,
I'm Roxy.
on the adventures of the Daring.
That was The Adventures of the Daring, brought to you by MacGruber's Gin, a gin that's good enough for the Masons and for you. Coming up next, Lady Victory, brought to you by this week's sponsor, Chevrolet. Chevrolet, did you know they're making the world's most environmentally responsible car? Weighing a scant 8 tons of pig iron and getting a whopping 1 mile to the gallon of heavily leaden gas, Chevrolet is a car truly built for the 20th century and beyond. Chevrolet, 8 tons of steel and iron, never smelled so environmental. Lady Victory boasts some of the finest voice talent in the world today. Whitney Hawkins is your narrator. Deborah Frank is playing Lady Victory. Julie Snyder is playing her friend Nancy. And Joe Safarovich is playing her army handler, Fitzgerald. This week, Lady Victory has to contend with the nefarious schemes of a particularly nefarious villain. I want to thank little Tina Johansson from Kenosha, Wisconsin, for writing in with the villain suggestion for this week. Because of that, Lady Victory must fight Tammy Blammo. And so, everyone, sit back, relax, and enjoy as Lady Victory contends with Tammy Blammo.
Good evening, America. Tonight we follow the adventures of our favorite secret superhero, Lady Victory, the American super soldier who now lives a double life in Tower City as one Victoria Tandy. But tonight, we don't start with our hero. we begin instead on a rural farm outside of Tower City. Deep inside the silo that you would suspect would hold good American corn, instead is the lair for one Tammy Blamo. We go to her now as she addresses her henchmen.
Oh, my little duckies, everything is in a row, is it not?
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah, it sure is. Ah.
Sure thing, Miss Blamo.
And nobody in the entire city has any idea, do they?
No.
There's no way.
They're too busy thinking about themselves.
The best part of this plan was that you hid them all over the city. There's no way they'll find them all in time.
I hid mine in the mayor's office.
And if they don't find it in time, blammo! From the rubbles of Liberty City, we shall build a new utopia. And you all shall be the first people that I invite into it.
Oh, boss, I want to be an ombudsman. You know, when there's a new elite and there are conflicts with the citizenry, I want to mediate them.
Done.
Ah!
Everybody
boss,
gets to name their position. Yes, yes.
I want to be a parliamentarian. I want to make sure we follow all the rules and procedures that you lay out so we can have fair and equitable discussions.
Done.
I want to be the person that presses the little square typewriter so I can use it as a weapon.
Done. But you all need to think larger. You have 24 hours to bring me the head of Lady Victory. And if you do, you shall sit at my side and be my right-hand man.
Blammo!
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 Back in Tower City, Victoria Tandy was asleep in her bed and woke with a great start as she felt a disturbance in her fair town.
We don't have earthquakes in Tower City, do we? What is that strange shaking I'm feeling?
She switched on the radio just in time to hear the latest news report.
Tower City shaken by earthquakes. Unusual for this East Coast city. We've been struck by a Richter scale 6.0. It's a logarithmic scale, folks. That means 6.0 is actually large. It's not like for the ladies where 6.0 is just so-so.
I really wish they would get a new radio reporter. That man is so misogynistic. But it was helpful for him to explain the logarithmic scale. I would not have known that 6.0 is a big earthquake. Well, that does seem odd and out of the ordinary. Now, should I go back to bed and dream of giving the Nazis what for, or should I do the responsible thing and get up, go investigate, and figure out if these earthquakes are, well, really earthquakes?
That question was answered for her by the ringing of her secret telephone.
Who would be calling at this hour of the night? Well, I suppose everyone's awoken from the earthquake. Maybe it's not that strange. Tandy residence, Victoria speaking.
If you have a stain and no detergent, what do you do?
Well, you throw out your garment and buy a new one.
Lady Victory, it's good to hear from you.
Fitzgerald, what are you doing up at this hour? Did the earthquake wake you too?
I personally don't sleep, but I'm glad you are up and felt that same earthquake, Lady Victory. I'm currently in the city hall. There's a threat, a bomb threat that we need you to investigate. We think that this has something to do with all the earthquakes everyone's hearing around town.
Wait, I'm sorry. You want me to investigate City Hall at this hour of night? I mean, I'm barely dressed.
Lady Victory, go to your washing machine. Your in-unit washing machine.
I'm so happy to have this in-unit washing machine. Oh, the Chevrolet brand. I didn't realize they were making washing machines. Oh. An apron? Fitzgerald, I thought that you understood that
Put it on. No, the other way.
How do you... What? Never mind. Okay.
Do you feel it click in?
It's lower back support. Oh, this is going to be great with fighting whoever I need to fight later.
Yes. We here at the American government military say that good posture equals a good chance of winning.
Well, do we think this is going to look okay on top of my regular dashing tights and cape?
Lady Victory opened the dryer.
Oh, it clips right in.
That's right. Another apron.
Fitzgerald, you do think of everything, don't you?
That's what I'm paid to do, Lady Victory.
Who pays you, by the way? Who am I working for?
I'm sorry. I need to get back to my undercover disguise as a subway station.
Okay, well...
Next stop, that guy.
That's me. Gotta go.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, I guess I'll head down to City Hall then. I guess I'll just gather up the regular paraphernalia. Let's see. Mace, 2 feet of chain, picture of my mother. God bless you, Mom. Yes, I think that's everything. Okay, well.
And with everything in tow and her Lady Victory regalia on under her normal, fashionable, but modest streetwear, Lady Victory headed towards City Hall.
Oh my God. Oh,
when she got there, she found a rather strange-looking man in a very long trench coat that seemed to be sort of wobbling around the steps of City Hall.
Excuse me, sir. Are you lost?
Her what?
Are you lost? This is City Hall. This isn't a shelter or a hotel.
No, I came to City Hall because I was sent here.
From inside the coat, 2 other voices seemed to be murmuring.
Coke.
It's just one guy here in a trench coat.
Right. No, we're not. We're definitely just one person.
Just one.
Where?
Yep.
What?
We're a ventriloquist.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Well, you wouldn't happen to have noticed any strange happenings around City Hall in the last couple of hours, would you? I hear that there was a threat.
Bert, there does not seem to be no threat. It was all a hoax, Bert. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know where Lady Victory is, would you, Burp?
We would really appreciate it. Burp.
I'm sorry. Who? Lady who now?
You know the superhero from the war that nobody talks about anymore, but probably still exists.
Oh, right, her. I am but a housewife. I'm not very familiar with stories in the paper. That's boring man stuff.
We can see you're a housewife. You're wearing 2 aprons.
Well, yes, actually, I was just dropping off some muffins for my husband at in the city hall, actually. But no, I don't know anything about a Lady Victory. If you wait right here, I can ask inside and come back out and maybe help you.
Berta Burr, sure. Just hand us one of the muffins, Berta Burr.
Oh,
Or
hungry.
make that 3 muffins.
3 muffins.
Really, Berta Burr?
Ah,
Um,
I didn't have
I-
breakfast.
I
Yeah,
sure
we
hope
really worked through
Fitzgerald
this.
put a muffin in this apron.
Victoria remembered those tiny pills that Fitzgerald had put into her belt a while ago. She rehydrated them and they turned into 3 plump blueberry muffins.
I hope Blueberry is okay. It's my favorite and my husband's.
That's perfect. Berta Burr.
Ah,
We'll see you in a moment.
Perfectly hydrated.
Victoria took the time while they enjoyed the delicious morsels and darted into City Hall, where she noticed something peculiar. Tiny, ducky footprints.
Tiny. Why would ducklings be looking for me? And why did they think that coat was going to work? Wait a minute. Ducklings. Who has ducklings? I've seen these footprints before. Tammy Blammo, she's back at it again. And this time she's after me, but why me? And why City Hall? There must be a clue around here somewhere.
She decided to follow the tiny, ducky footprints wherever they might take her.
Straight to the elevator. Nancy?
Victoria, what are you doing at City Hall?
Victoria's best friend Nancy, the elevator girl at the Tower City Gazette, also moonlighted at City Hall in the moonlight.
I was just registering to vote. What are you? I didn't realize that you were spending evenings as the elevator girl here.
Oh, Victoria, I hope you won't think less of me. I'll be honest. It's been a while since I've been on a date, and well, the elevator job here pays better than at the Gazette, but I don't want to give that up because you're my best friend.
Oh, Nancy, that's so kind. What? By the way, has anyone strange come in the elevator in the last hour or so? I hear people are attempting voter fraud.
Oh, that's absolutely horrible. No, nobody strange that I can think of, but I would normally take you up to the voter registration office, but to be honest, there's some sort of water situation up there right now.
A water situation.
Oh, yeah. Every time I go by the 5th floor, that's where it is. Once I get up to there, there's all sorts of water coming in. I don't know. It's like some sort of duckling party. So I don't think you should go up there right now. But you can mail in your voter registration.
Nancy, take me to the 5th floor.
Victoria, I just told you the 5th floor.
Nancy, I'm your best
Victoria?
friend, right?
You are.
Then take me to the 5th floor.
All right, just answer me one question. Am I your best friend?
Of course. That's why I brought you this apron. Put it on, just in case.
I feel so domestic. Going up.
And with that declaration of friendship and lower back support, Victoria arrived at the 5th floor. The carpet was completely soaked in water. Cattail reeds had seemed to grow up along the halls, and she could hear the distinct sound of maniacal quacking.
Victoria, I have an aversion to foul, so I'm gonna go back down to the first floor, but just use the stairs if you need me.
Yeah, right. Yep, Nancy, please, just shut the doors now.
Going down.
You all sound familiar.
Just then, 10 tiny duckies came out from behind the voter registration sign.
It's us, the ducklings. And soon, the whole world will need to make way. Make way! Make way!
Victoria was overcome with fear and also feelings of cuteness.
How does she still remember my one weakness? I love a good duckling. Oh, but if Tammy put them here, they're here for a reason, and they're here for me, and I can't succumb to the little fluffy feathers.
I'm cute, and I have a knife.
Charge her, one at a time. Quack.
Oh, I hate kicking ducks. Oh, I'm sorry, but chain to the face.
One by one, with their fluffy little feathers and tiny switchblade knives, little ducklings flew across the voter registration office.
This one. Oh, I feel bad punching it right in the beak.
Wait. Look at my big doughy eyes.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna poke right in both of your eyes at the same time.
Boink!
Oh goodness. Just a pile of dead ducklings.
And from behind that pile waddled a shadowy figure.
My babies! What have you done? What have you done?
You sent ducklings after me after all these years?
Of course I sent ducklings after you. I know your weakness, and I was ready to exploit it, Blammo!
Blammo.
Tammy Blammo emerged fully into the light of the bureaucratic office.
That's right, Lady Victory.
She stood 4 feet tall, duck-footed, with light yellow hair and a beakish mouth.
Take it all in. Feast your eyes upon what will be your destruction.
You've been using the ducklings to cause these mini earthquakes. Those very, very cute earthquakes. They've all been you, haven't they?
Yes, I had the ducklings put little earthquake generators in all of the buildings to draw you out. I didn't know where your lair was, but I knew that Liberty City was so precious to you, you wouldn't want to see it go blammo.
That's the difference between me and you, Tammy Blammo. I even know the name of this city. This Tower City. The city that we have renamed and rebuilt. Sure, one time, back when you and I were friends, it might have been Liberty City.
It will be Liberty City again. Tower City. That doesn't even make any sense.
Tammy, remember back in our Liberty City days. Remember how we women fighters lifted each other up and enjoyed the company of ducklings?
Quack. Remember, Quack, when you left me? You left me on that rooftop. You said the mission was more important. And now you're telling me that sisterhood is more important. Well, which one is it? Sisterhood or your duty?
We could have both, Tammy. In Tower City, in the great American Tower City. But if you can't feel that,
Why should I trust you? I want to trust you, Blammo! Ah!
I
Oh!
can't believe you just blammoed yourself.
If I don't blammo myself, then who will blammo me? Who will blammo me?
From
Boss.
inside her downy coat, she pulled a large duck call and sounded it.
Boss.
Oh,
Boss.
you're already here, yes?
Yes.
Grr.
We're close to death, but I just want to, if I don't make it, boss, remember that my dream was to be an ombudsman. If you reconcile with Lady Victory, I won't have died in vain.
There shall be no reconciliation.
Ah.
And with that, 50 tiny ducklings flew into the voters' registration office, scooped up Tammy Blammo and her 10 downy henchmen, and flew back out the window.
This isn't the last time you see me, Blammo!
Leaving Lady Victory knee deep in pond-like water. But just then, the reeds started to move, and a familiar face came into view.
Lady Victory, you saved the day again. Why am I not surprised?
Fitzgerald, you look very cattailish.
Yes, it's hard to be disguised as 4 separate reeds at once. But the American government finds a way.
Nothing like a good optical illusion. Apologies for letting my personal matters get in the way and allow my old friend to fly the coop, as it were.
Lady Victory, you did a great service today to your city and your country. No need to apologize. That Tammy Blammo is one silly goose.
She's a tough bird.
Ha! A better joke.
I thought we were doing a
joke.
thing.
A better joke it was. Join me, America, in saluting our favorite secret superhero as she secretly saves the day yet again. And join us next week as we see Lady Victory.
That was Lady Victory, brought to you by Chevrolet. Thank you very much for tuning into WGAR, Golden Age Radio, brought to you by Improv Boston, as well as the technical wizardry of the man upstairs, Matt Laidlaw. We will be performing every Thursday at 7 p.m. right here on Twitch and also on Facebook and YouTube. Please consider donating to Improv Boston that we may continue making you laugh once everything is back to normal. That website is improvboston.com/donate. While there, also take a look at our online comedy classes with registration opening in the coming days. Thank you again, everyone, and good night from WGAR Golden Age Radio.